In this video, Bill Maher explains to Stephen A. Smith why he never pulls punches when going against the woke leftist who he did not leave, but they left him. He talks about how people behind closed doors have said things to him on the left that maybe be different than what you hear in public. Stephen A. Smith goes into a lot of detail about how he completely agrees with Bill Maher and his opinion on Trump and the black community, and so on and so on. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to Resist the Mainstream because it ensures YouTube that you are enjoying our videos, and in that way they will continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
I recently sat down with a guy by the name of Dave Rubin. I'm sure you are aware of who he is.
Yeah, I know Dave. I went to a Laker game with him.
That's right. He bragged about going to the Lakers game with you. I told him you and I went to a Lakers game together.
Yes, we did.
As well recently. He and I just finished talking. And one of the things that I called him, I said, listen, he's not a lieutenant or general or whatever, but let's say he is, meaning Bill Maher, consider me a soldier because I stand directly behind him in support of all the things that he has said, particularly over the last several years about the left and how the left pretty much lost its way. Getting personal with you for a second, how difficult, if difficult at all, has it been for you to deal with some of the things that have been thrown in your direction just because you were on your show telling the truth about what the left did wrong and how it got in its own way and what it needed to do to fix the party? Your thoughts?
You know, Stephen A., you can't have everything. That's what you come to if you live long enough. Would I like to have everybody on my side? Would I like to have everybody be my fan? Of course. Was it not great when some super woke people left because I wasn't on their page? Yeah, I wish everybody was still my fan, but you can't have that. Do I think I deserve a bunch of Emmys that I would never get because this town is woker than I am? Yeah, I do. I don't think we have the same criteria about what constitutes excellence. It's okay. You can't have everything. I would take a million times if you offered it to me against those things. The joy of being able to speak my mind as I see it and the love that gets me from people from all stripes who appreciate that. The things that people say to me, I've been out with every type of celebrity. They don't say the things they say to me to other celebrities. That means more to me than anything. But things that people say to me and how much it means to them that they feel like there's somebody out there who is never pulling a punch and who will just call out anybody, wherever they are in the political spectrum, if he thinks they're saying something goofy, that really means the world to me. So I have that, and that's plenty.
In respect to that, although I disagree with him on probably many things, maybe more things than not, I respect that he's willing to call out the side that he's supposedly supposed to be on for all this insanity that they spew. Obviously, he talks about the right as well, and not the greatest light. But the way that he talks when referring to how insane the left is always the talking points of the right 90% of the time, because we are the more logical side. We like to live in reality. It's a fun place to be. And it's interesting how he was talking about how a lot of these celebrities will talk to him. They won't tell other celebrities what they're thinking because obviously in this woke era, like if you converge with people like John Cryer, who was just on Bill Maher the other day, he's insanely woke and he would like flip a lid if someone said anything about supporting Trump or supporting something that Trump supports, not necessarily liking the man himself. It's not allowed. Some people are just psycho and insane. And so it's cool to see that he doesn't care. And like he said, like he's like, it's like the people's choice. Like, okay, these people might not, these celebrities might not endorse me. I might not get an Emmy, which is crazy. These award shows will totally benefit you or ridicule you totally based on your political affiliation or on what you choose to and to not criticize. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But like Trump, he was the people's choice. The media hated him, but the American people liked him, obviously. 76 million votes. And obviously all these people that were non-political came out of the woodwork to support him. So it's good. Things are changing. And Stephen A. Smith, sure, man, you've been saying this all along. You've said some things and then backtracked. I remember that. But we have another video with them going over the black community. Stephen A. Smith, again, I'm pretty sure he said negative stuff about Trump, like very negative things about him, calling him racist and all these things. So this video, I feel like contradicts his past statements, but I could be wrong. And if Stephen A. somehow sees this video, you can correct me. Well, let's get into it.
All right, so here's the thing.
Right.
So there are all these, white boys are talking to me about Trump, and he's a terrible racist. And it's like, well, how could the black people vote for him more than each time? And they didn't vote for him a lot more, but men did.
Right, men did.
Okay, and I said, you know what? I don't want to speak for all black people, and this is where I need to tell you.
Sure.
You tell me if I was wrong or right.
Okay.
I said, you know what I think black people think about Trump? Like, is he a racist? Yeah, but they think every white person is kind of a racist. And do they think that white people behind closed doors talk like Trump? Yeah, he's just a crazy
That
person.
last part right there. That last part right there. It's not that. It's not
He
that.
just says it out loud
As black people, I don't want to speak for all black people, whatever.
No,
Obviously, I'm
because they're not all alike.
That's
at
right.
all.
Exactly. But I will say this to you. As you know, being a black man, you don't look at white people and automatically think they're racist. You automatically know they're different than you, that they think different than you, that they come from a different cultural
That's not even necessarily true, but go off.
background and
Yes.
experience things differently than they do. So
Right.
that second part is very, very important, because when you talk about how Trump talks,
Right.
we're going like this. So that's the first time he talked like that, when he became president. Who the fuck you think you playing with? We know better than that. We know better than that. We know that ain't the first time, and we know that the people that he was friends with all of these years, he talked just like that around y'all, and y'all didn't have no problem with it. Don't act like you have a problem
And
now.
also had some
And-
genuine black friends
Yeah, well,
and
and-
black folks who like him.
Well, let me tell you this. I don't know if I told you.
Because it's complicated.
I don't know if
Life
I told you
is
this.
complicated.
I wouldn't call myself his friend by any stretch of the imagination back in the day.
Right.
But I've told this on many occasions. I said this in my recent appearance on The View and stuff like that. Trump and I were friendly
Right.
before he ran for president. He used to have these boxing matches, particularly during the Tyson fights at the Trump
Right.
casinos. He would be at the Knicks games and stuff like that. And if we're being totally honest, all the brothers found him to be cool.
Right.
They found him to be very cool. So let's be clear, because he knew his sports, all right? He
Right.
would say what he feel. He
Right.
bucked the establishment, which we loved, and we gravitated to that. And obviously, he was
And
a
also,
billionaire,
he was a
he
certain
so-
age.
and it was
you
cool.
get a certain
It was cool.
understanding that white men of that age,
Right.
they're going to be a little grandpa. We don't say that anymore.
No,
But
that wasn't
like,
him.
is he really like
That-
in his heart like hateful? No, I think he.
I've never.
I don't think his motivation is I don't like black people. I think his motivation is everybody must love me.
Thank you. And that's why, that's right there. What you just said,
It's-
everybody must
yes,
love me.
it's his
is exactly-
narcissism. It's
I
not
have
his racism.
I have never called him a racist. I have never spoken about him that way.
That's
Ever.
interesting.
Not one time. Because I knew him beforehand. And I
don't know if that's true or not. I feel like he probably has called him that. Maybe I'm wrong. Even Bill Maher, though, like, he doesn't have a bad heart. If you don't think he's that bad, you think he's an old grandpa, like, you think all these things, you could disagree with him politically and say, I don't want him in office because I oppose his policy or whatever, I guess. But the way that you've characterized him as this, like, trying to overthrow the government, all these bad things, is contradicting to the way you're behaving in this interview, where you're saying that he's not that bad. Because he's not. But it's interesting. He's not racist. Come on. He's just a narcissist. I mean, yes, he has an ego. Yes, he likes to be liked. Everyone likes to be liked. He just lets everybody know that, hey, I want you to like me. But it's interesting seeing this shift in people like Stephen A. and Bill Maher. I mean, I'm grateful to see that. But it's like, don't be a chameleon like Mark Zuckerberg. Like, if Kamala won, would he be saying the same things he's saying now about, like, Meta stopping this fact checking, going to community notes like X, like Elon Musk on X? Who knows? X Twitter. I don't know. But I mean, I'm grateful to see that Trump is being humanized and seen as someone who's just a flawed individual who means well. That's great. So we'll see how things keep going as this Trump gets put in office in 9 days. So close. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to comment down your thoughts below. I want to know what you guys are thinking on this, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.